Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, we're going to talk about the Dow Industrials today and the Russell 2000. Take a look at three key sectors that really help drive the economy. We're going to start off here with the ETF Dashboard, which shows these are the 16. I've got the dashboard is much bigger than this, but this sector section has 16 sectors that I look at every week and walk through with my members. And you can see this week we had 15 up and one negative. And the only one that was negative was energy, and it was barely negative at down 0.5%. But notice that this was the exact opposite of the previous week. We had one up, 15 negative. This week, 15 up, one negative. Year to date, everything is still positive. Right here, you can see this column right here. So the biggest mover to the upside was semiconductors bouncing back from that big hard hit that they took, and I talked about last week, okay? And right there with it, of course, XLK, because SMH is really kind of a subset of XLK. But we had some pretty big moves here by the home builders and consumer discretionary up 5.5%. For the year, though, semiconductors continues to be the dominant leader, up 35.5%. And the second place is, about another 9% back. Home builders at about 25%, and utilities 24%. That is pretty amazing on utilities. So that's the picture for this week. And let's dive in and take a look at the Dow Industrials. And well, actually, we're going to take a look at the industrials, the SPX, and the NASDAQ 100. Side by side, weekly view, the Dow was up 1,048 points this week, okay? And the S&P 500 up 217.8, you rounded 218. Interesting thing about the SPX, it closed above the high of the previous week. Dow didn't quite pull that off, but it was clearly an outside candle, outside up type candle in here. Didn't quite get to be an outside candle, but it, closing is pretty bullish and closing back above the high. I wouldn't be surprised at all for this to take out the end of August high and the July high, the mid-July high in here. It's just the way it looks. Everything is just continuing to want to trend. I know we've had divergence, but we've gotten a pretty good little correction out of that. We'll see if that's all there is. Okay, and then over here on the NDX, it was up 1,093, and it too closed above the high of the prior week. Okay, they're back above the 10-week moving average, continuing to look and act like they want to trend higher. It's going to be interesting to see, is this all we get in terms of this corrective move, and we push higher? We'll see. But I'm going to focus on the Dow Industrials today and then the Russell 2000. So let's go look at the Dow. So on Friday, let me move this over so you can see, we were up 297. And look at this 3-day follow through. After we got this tremendous whiplash on Wednesday. I mean, at one point, the Dow was down over 700 points. It was down 743.89 to be exact at the low, and it closed the day up about 124.75. So one heck of a washout here, and then we got tremendous follow through and push to the upside. So we already talked about the weekly view. So let's take a look at my Elliott Wave picture, and let's just start off here with the weekly. So right now, I've adjusted and tweaked this a little bit. I think this count labels a little bit better with the wave structure that we've got. We're in this intermediate wave 3 move to the upside here in the industrials. And within that intermediate wave 3, I think we are trying to finish off the third minor wave. And within the third minor wave, I think we're in the fifth wave. Now, the real question is, what is developing with all of this choppiness in here on the fifth wave? And I like the alternation that we've got, between, a sharp pullback for 2 and a sideways type move, flat. It almost looks like an expanded flat type thing for 4. And, whether you call it a flat or irregular correction, I think Elliott always called it an irregular correction. But an expanded flat goes to a higher high here on A, B, and C, and the C does not come all the way back down to the end of A. So that's the picture. Usually it's a sign of some strength in that move in that direction. So we'll see if that follows through or not. Now, here's what I think is going on in here. I think we got some kind of ending diagonal pattern. We're getting a lot of zigzaggy type of moves. I'm not sure this move is done yet, third wave, and I'm expecting it to come back in the fourth wave and overlap wave 1. So in an ending diagonal pattern, if this fifth wave is, if that's what it is, right here, okay, these need to be all zigzags, and wave 4 overlaps wave 1. So that's the picture we've got. That's what I think is happening. I think we're going to continue to press to the upside, in a choppy manner here until we hit wave 3, and then we're going to get a corrective pattern here for wave 4. Okay, so that's where we sit with the industrials. So let's take a look at IWM. Okay, I'm going to go back to the moving average view here. Pull this over, and then I'm going to pull up IWM, the Russell 2000 ETF. So big strong move, same kind of washout, whiplash type of thing on Wednesday, and big strong move to the upside for the next 2 days, Thursday, Friday. And it's approaching this trend line, which I think is going to be key. We need to smash through that trend line to take out this August 26th high and then keep pushing. That's what I'm looking for. The wave count I've got, I think I've talked about this maybe a couple of weeks ago. I don't have the notes in front of me, but this really hasn't changed. I thought this C wave would come down a little bit further in a zigzag, but I'm calling it the end of the wave C and the end of wave 2 in here. And so I'm looking for this to continue to push to the upside. The alternate count on here is that wave 2 ended here in a running flat, okay? A, B, C type of thing. But I'm going to stick with this count that we've got right here and see if we can continue to push to the upside in here. It's almost 6-1, half dozen of the other, honestly. Because my expectation is for a third wave to keep pushing up in here. This is just a path forward. This is not any particular targeting of either price or time. It's just a path forward right now. I've got the wave structure linked together. Okay, that's what's going on there. I'll get a better idea once I confirm, let's say we break out that trend line. Then I'll have a much better idea. We got something out of alignment here. That's why I'm getting that. For the target for wave 3. Okay, so that's the picture on IWM on the weekly view. Continue to look for it to push higher. All right, now I want to take a look at these 3 sectors that I look at every week, track them every day. Real estate is just knocking the ball out of the park. I mean, look at this, up $3.74. U.S. real estate. Very, very strong. Okay. Now, we may be starting to run into a key resistance level in here. Where is that high? 103.36. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as this continues. I mean, we're above the Keltner channel on a weekly basis and pushing pretty strong. Very, very overbought. But many times when you get that overbought on the RSI, it's a sign of strength in the bull move kind of thing. Okay, so on the bank index, look how the banks have come back, up 88 cents here for this last week. And here's a 2-year picture, okay, going all the way back September of 22. Okay, so you could see we're kind of consolidating up above this area right in here. continuing to trend higher on a weekly view. And if we come over here, take a look at the home builders, here's another one that's just relentless. Now, yeah, it has its corrective patterns along the way, but it is sure continuing to trend. And big, strong move this week, $7.31. Of course, we saw that on the ETF dashboard, right? XHB up very, very strong. Okay, that is the picture for this week. We'll see what kind of continuation we get this week. And does the Fed cut 25 basis points or 50? Yeah, it'll be interesting. Everyone, have a great week. If you felt like the video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, hit that little subscriber button and head on over to joehenches.net. Check out the website and the membership. Everyone, have a great week.